Welcome to our annual Hoops and Dreams special podcast, taking a look at the new QPR kits, this time ahead of the 2025-2026 season. We didn't do this last season though, because we had the home kit released before the previous campaign had even ended, whereas this year we've had to wait until a week before the new season to get the home kit. But finally, we've seen them all, and I've been joined by Frankie and Matthew, who are keen to analyse this year's efforts. We'll share our thoughts, we'll rate the kits out of 10, and of course, do comment at your ratings and get on our QPR message board to share your views on the new kits. And we'll take a look at the new blue and white home shirt first, which is the most recent release of the three. Should add, this is our 9th season now with Area supplying the kits. And they've been doing a great job, I think, for the most part. We've got the bespoke designs, we've always got full hoops. In some ways, we should never complain because I know some people always say they'd like the big companies like Adidas, Nike, but you don't get the same attention to detail. They wouldn't care about QPR. So better the devil, I think sometimes. As for this season's home kit, just blue and white hoops, no red, no gold or yellow, V-neck design, a checkered pattern woven into the blue hoops, inspired by the matchday programs of the 70s, plain white socks, white shorts, but the shorts have a thick blue band at the bottom. Now, Frankie, I know you love your kits, you even come up with your own designs. What are your impressions of the home kit this season?
The home kit this season is very similar to our 2021 home kit in the sense it is the same raglan sleeves with the massive bits of white at the top, and it's the white badge on the blue hoop, which we haven't had for 2 years now, I believe. So I'm I'm always a fan of having the blue at the top, like on your shirt there, and like on most shirts we've had, apart from the last two. It's always better, I think, with the top hoop. However, I feel like it's fine every so often to have it look a bit different. I'm not particularly too fond that it's been back to back, that we've had a lot of white involved in the top of the kit. However, last season we had a different attempt at blue and white hoops. We had three stages of blue with the blocky gradient in each hoop. This time we went with the checkerboard pattern, which I'm all for. I was all for it last season. I'm all for it this season. I feel like there's only so many blue and white kits you can do until you've done them all. So the fact that we're trying different things and Array is working with us to make it that it worked, I think it's brilliant. Because realistically, if this was just a recolor or a deferred shirt, I feel like it just wouldn't be that good because we've literally just seen the third shirt and it's obviously green and white, so it's not much different. So the fact that they've actually went out there and tried something else, I really enjoy that. Obviously we're still a copy bet, which you can't really do too much when it's like a sponsor. They give us money to be on our shirt, but you never really like to see a gambling company on the front of a shirt. But again, it's not the ugliest logo in the world. It does its job, and yeah, overall, it's not the worst kit in the world, but it would never be one of our best, I don't think.
Matthew, are you a fan of it?
Yeah, personally, I quite like it. Yeah, it's a major difference from last year. I didn't like the collar at all from last season's kit. Um, I do like that we're trying to do different things. I agree with Frankie that we're trying to add little things to it because we are blue and white hoops. We can't do too much with it. So I love the little detail with the checkers in there. And I feel like we're not trying to change too much. It's like an anniversary sort of theme. I'm glad we're trying to stick to the more original sort of side of it. So and it's not too the green and white hoops from the third kit. So yeah, I agree with Frankie in that circumstance. But personally, I quite like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like the checkered effect that you both mentioned on the blue hoops. I've already been working on that into this season's season preview graphics. It's a nice touch. I think the cuffs on the shorts is a bit too thick. That's the same on all three kits. It looks slightly odd for me that I don't know why it is quite as big a bar as it is, but I guess it's better than having just plain white shorts. And I think converse to that, though, the strip that's on the sleeves at the end is so thin it's almost non-existent. That could maybe have been a bit thicker to add a bit of blue at the top, because like you said, Frankie, it's very white, the top of the shirt. That seems to be the pattern in recent years. I had a look back at this, and we've not had a kit that's had a hoop on the sleeve itself since 2017-18. So seems to be something they go against, and especially now that we have sponsors on the arms, you wonder whether that's playing into that as well. Because if you have a hoop, maybe it makes it harder to place a sponsor there. or maybe we're going to get a hoop on the sleeve next season and that's what they'll move back to. But it screams QPR. It's a lovely kit. No one's going to say, "Oh, who's that kit?" They'll know it's QPR straight away, and that's the chief thing we can always want for. What would you rate it out of 10 then, Frankie, overall?
With the hoops on the sleeve, it is hard to get them on the sleeves properly. When it's a raglan shirt, it is easier, but it's hard to match them up. And when you look at the 17-18 kit, the hoops on the sleeves don't match up to the hoops on the shirt at all, which we used to get back in the day when we had much thinner hoops. So it is difficult, and obviously sponsors don't help at all. We've got my what's it called? My guava, I think is how you pronounce it. Trying to
Sure.
incorporate that and the EFL like kick racism out badge, or if it's just the league badge, it is hard to incorporate them in the hoop. Because even if you look at Liverpool's kit reveal today, the Adidas is off center from the not the Adidas, the Premier League logo is off center from the Adidas stripes. So they don't ever make our lives easier as people who enjoy football kits and sort of help us out there. So I don't know when the next time we'll get hoops on the sleeve, but I wouldn't mind that soon. But as for this kit, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's anything bad. I don't think it's our best kit in the world, but it's nice. It does its job. It's something different. It's creative, but it's also I think if we had the bar at the top, that would push it to a 7 or an 8. But yeah, with the it's too much white, especially after last season. So for me, it's 6.
What about you, Matthew?
I would give it a 7. Um, I think the sponsor does take down the score. I think it's too big for me in terms of it. When we had that sponsor a few years ago, I think it's Slovenia or something like that. I thought that was quite tidy when we had that a few seasons back. But with this one, I think it's too because it's a nice tidy kit. I think the sponsor does make it look like okay, it does make it stand out too much. So, but I would give it a 7. I think it's a major improvement from last season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm on a 7 as well. It's hard to knock it too much. It's just a really nice shirt, isn't it? Just a few of the minor details take maybe a few points away from it, but the checkered bit, like I say, big fan of that. Leaves me on a 7. And onto the away kit. We've had 3 weeks to digest this one. Now, in recent seasons, we've had so many different colours. We've had mint green, red, black, maroon, gold. This season, it's back to pink, but it's a much lighter shade. As you can see, Frankie's already modelling it. Much lighter pink than the one we had back in 2018-19. Pink and black halves, white details on the neck, white sponsor, contrasting coloured sleeves, one black, one pink. Matthew, your thoughts on the away kit?
It has grown on me. Definitely, yeah. When it first came out, and you're sort of thinking it's down the middle. Was it too short? Is it like from the pictures? You're sort of thinking how pink it is. It does go back to 2018-19 of how that was a pretty dark pink, but this is more like a lighter tone. But seeing it on the players and seeing it in some of the friendlies, it's been quite cool to see. And with the shorts, it does go well, pretty good. So I quite like it. There's always a clamour of the Dennis the Menace kit, but we can't get that every season. So we got to try and do something different. And this is very different and very vibrant, and it will suit all supporters. So I'm a quite big fan actually.
Frankie, you were actually involved in the launch, so I'm predicting you're a fan. Were you wearing it after all?
Yeah. I just tried to look back because we're sorting the loft out at the minute, and my football shirt collection is all behind me. And my pink shirt, the original one, is in there somewhere, but it's buried under all the stuff I've put in there recently, so I won't be able to dig it out. But yeah, I was a part of the shoot. It was very fun to do, actually. Obviously, being a part of something where you're very excited to see it, it is also a risk because if it came out and it weren't good, then you got to save face because you don't want to say, "Oh, yeah, that's bad. I don't want to wear that now," but you're there in person modeling it. I was actually a big fan of it. I had spoken to my aunt and we was trying to predict what would the away in the third shirt be. And in the end, we landed on one of the kits will be pink and one of them will be black. So when I've got pink and black in front of me, I was very confused on what the third shirt could be. But ultimately, I do think it is the right idea to remix the 75-76 away shirt in a different way where it's not too far away from what it was because pink and red are very close on the color wheel. But at the same time, people weren't happy because it's pink. I think certain people got to grow up when it comes to like if it's pink, it's wrong. It's a color. It's not that deep. But I think it was a good way to remix what we used to have. I really like the white detailing, so in the little inner collar bit, which when you pull it apart is a lot more thicker, but it's not as prevalent. But it's also on the sleeve. Oh no, the sleeve cuffs are the opposite color. Got the kit in front of me as well. Um, but yeah, I think it is a really nice kit. The pink is a really nice shade. The black contrasts well. People had a problem with the fact the Y and the copy bet isn't in the middle, but that's because the logo, the Y isn't central in general. But again, if that was in the middle, it would make it slightly better. But there's not much you can do about that. Uh, it is a question to see how effective the white numbers are going to be. I feel like we're going to have another situation like a few years back where we had black numbers on the home shirt and you couldn't really see it. In the preseason friendlies, they had a thin black outline on it. So time will tell how well the white numbers appear on the pink. But I am a big fan of the shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the criticism has come because people see it's half and half and they want it to be red and white halves. But realistically, we can't have that as a kit because if it's got too much white in it with red, it can't be the away kit and have green and white. We have to have a contrast somewhere. And this season, they've obviously gone down that route. It's not really for me the kit. I don't mind pink particularly. I've got my little boys, the previous pink kit that we had. I just always prefer hoops. I even maybe make it pink and black hoops. At least then it resembles QPR. Because to me, that's always the biggest problem with a kit like that. Same with last season's away kits. You wouldn't particularly know they were QPR shirts unless you happen to catch the crest on them. That's always my biggest criticism when we go away from hoops. The shorts, for me, not the best with that big pink band at the bottom. Again, could have been a little bit thinner, but I do like the white details that you were pointing out, Frankie. Certainly, this is a shirt that's going to split opinion, as it probably already has here. Definitely one for the ratings in the comments, but what rating would you give it, Matt?
I would give it, I would give it a 7. But I still rate it quite high. I was in the superstore on Saturday before the friendly against Herivine, and basically they were selling out pretty fast. So in a matter of weeks, the change of opinion has got better. I think on social media, straight away the clamour was straight away like, "Oh no, this is horrible, this is disgusting." But you got to see it on the players. It does change opinion, and it does. I think it's the right sort of pink as well. Like we were saying that it's the right sort of pink for a man to wear, you know. So yeah, I think it suits everyone, every audience. So yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Well, it certainly suits you, Frankie. What rating are you giving it?
Yeah, I'm also going to agree on a 7. I agree that it's the right shade of pink. Obviously the hot pink away shirt from before. I was also a big fan of that because it's out there, and I do like a kit that I disagree that a away kit or a third kit has to look like it's hoops, and it is definitely QPR. Some of my favorite kits that aren't QPR are these creative, like out there kits, but that might just be because I'm a designer. But I will stick with a 7 on this kit. It's not doing too much creatively, but it's doing enough that it is more than just a retro kit that's a different color. Also, the material and all the kits, Francis made a big point that it's all recycled material this year, which is, something that is helping the environment. So I suppose that is better. But yeah, I'd stick with a 7. It's better in person than I think in images as well.
Yeah, I think it is because when I first saw it, I was a bit like, "What is that?" Probably a 3. Saw it on the players, it was a 4. Seeing it on you there, Frank, it does look a lot better again. So I'm probably up to about a 5. And as the months go on, it'll probably grow on me even more. They do, don't they, these kits? But it's just not for me, that one, as much as others. I do get that they've got to mix it up. It'll sell well. They can't just have the same kits every season. So I totally understand it. But I'm probably in the middle. But it's going up all the time. And for the second season in a row, we've got a third kit. We didn't have one for half a decade, but they're definitely back in the rage now. And for the first time in 15 years, we've got green and white hoops, this time with gold sponsor, gold and black details. This one I think is almost certain to sell well because it is hoops. For me, my granddad's actually a Celtic fan. He's Irish, so he's always had a fondness for green and white hoops myself. So that for me works anyway. Details on this kit are just lovely, aren't they? The little black bits, the gold lines on the neck, at the end of the cuff, the little gold details, contrasting colours. So I've always liked gold on QPR kits as well. So for me, this one, is superb. And I think because it's been a 15-year wait, I think we're all going to appreciate it a little bit more. What did you make of it, Frankie?
To be completely honest, when I first saw it, I wasn't a fan. Now, I had put out a tweet where I had seen a lot of the flack the away kit was getting, and I said how we're not going to have black and red every season. Um, that's a thing that the club have sort of said because the black and red shirts don't sell that well. Most of the people who want black and red aren't the crowd who buy football shirts, so they're sort of trying to market to people who are buying the shirts, which is why they've went back to pink. And even then, I've had people who aren't QPR fans tell me they've loved the pink and black shirt, and I've also had them say they love the white and green shirt. When I finally got it in person, so that finally being a day later, I was a big fan. Seeing it in person, it's a lot better again. Even like seeing it on Dembele and Frey and Field in the promotional material, it still was bothering me. But getting it in person and then seeing it on the players in a match, it is a lot better than I originally thought. And it is nice to be back to green and white, especially when I had said that we're not going to have green and white, and I had egg on my face, rightfully so. But the gold is another nice shade of gold. We get the shade of gold right every time. Part of me does think though that if the badges were white and the sponsor was black, it might be better. But I'm not going to complain at the gold. I think the gold does work really well here.
What did you make of it, Matthew?
Yeah, I think this is definitely my favorite out of the three. I think it's near enough perfect for me. The gold is just a cherry on top for me. I think it's the right color green as well. It's giving you like the first time we had green and white, sort of like 2004 era, I think it was. It's like that sort of pattern. And it could be a lucky omen. The last time we had green and white, we got promoted. So, let's hope that's the case at the end of the season. But yeah, I love it. It's when I saw it in the superstore on Saturday as well. It's amazing, and seeing it on the players, it's like wow, okay, I'm loving this. So big fan.
Yeah, the last time we had green and white hoops, we also had a half and half home away kit, didn't we, as well? And we got promoted. So
Mm.
I mean, I do love this kit. I personally never see the point of a third kit for QPR because obviously, if you've got pink and black away kit, you don't really need a third kit, but it's the modern way, isn't it? It also means we won't get to see blue shorts and blue socks as an alternative in the league this season because the league rules mean that you can only register 3 pairs of shorts, 3 pairs of socks. So, might see them in the cup, but we won't get to see that. And so, again, to me, that's a better alternative for QPR. But like I say, I think especially with Christian Nori, and he knows a way to make money. So if he can get a third kit out there, he's going to do it every season, isn't he? But yeah, I absolutely really like this one. The gold, like you both pointed out, the details, the right shade of green, I agree on that as well. So for me, if it was just a normal kit, it'd be 8 out of 10. But as a third kit, I don't think QPR could potentially have a better third kit. So I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 as a third kit. I'm finding it hard not to invest the ridiculous £58 on this one because big fan of it. What rating would you give it, Matt?
I would give it a 9. I would give it a 9. I think what pushes me away from 10, I think I'm not a fan of the black in it, to be honest. Like, I think if it was a green sort of collar, green and white collar, where it suits the actual design itself, I think that would be perfect for me. But I think for most of it, I really love it. The gold is just, and people would say we lose gold last couple of seasons, but we use it perfectly, like Frankie said. We just seem to do it at the right designs, and we haven't done too much of the gold on this design as well. So for me, it's near enough perfect for me.
Right, you, Frankie.
I'm also I'm a big fan of it, but I'm not going to go with a 9. The reason being, it is really the bar at the top should be. Is I feel like as a club we are much more suited to a box shirt than a raglan shirt, and to think the box shirts are the shorter sleeves and the raglan are these sleeves. I've always thought we've suited box shirts better. Obviously, people make their own things about the collars, but I don't mind it being a V-neck collar. I think it works with these kits. It's too much white for me again because obviously the green and white shirt came from our original home colours being green and white. So in my mind, it should be the exact same as a home shirt, but with different bits and obviously green instead of blue. But I'm a big fan of the green shorts and the green socks. Obviously, yeah, we can't have the blue shorts and blue socks because of the rules, but I'm happy with the green. I think it works well here, and if there's ever a world where for some reason we have to wear the white shorts with this kit, I think it will look great, even though it's got the blue badges on it. But I'm gonna go with a 7 on this as well, like the away shirt. I think they're an okay set of kits this year. I don't think it's our best in the last few years, but they're not bad in any shape, like any way, shape, or form. But yeah, for me, a 7.
Yeah, I think as I said at the start, area generally they've not had that many off seasons, have they? Even if they've had a poor home kit, the away kit's been amazing, or vice versa. So I think as a package, these are a good combination, especially because the away kit's going to split opinion. The home and away kits cater to the crowds, don't they? So yeah, it's a good mix. And we'll have a quick look at the goalkeeper kits before we finish, because these matter the least, of course, but it's good to have a look at them. I liked the designs a few years ago when Senny Dieng was here, where they incorporated hoops into the design. This time, you'd have to say a very generic kind of pattern. Home is black with purple details, away teal and navy, third choice orange with black. There's a bit of gradient and shades in the background of each of them. Are they much to write home about for you, Frankie?
I have a strong feeling these are just templates. Um, every big company has them. Adidas is notorious for all their goalkeeper kits, Nike the same, Puma the same. I feel like these are just templates we've been given, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them on another team with Araya. Um, I am a fan of the colours with the black and purple and I don't know what shade to call the bluish one. It's got a bit of like I don't know what to describe for hue as because it's not teal, but it's not it's a nice shade of whatever type of color that is. And as a designer, I should probably know what color that is. Not too fond of the orange at all, but I think that's our third one, so we'll see that the least. But I would like if we went out there like a Bristol and did some retro looking goalkeeper shirt. But when you look at our retro shirts, they was always quite plain. But it would be nice to see us go out there and do something really vibrant and extravagant. But I don't think we really do that here. It's they're okay. They do their job. They're a keeper shirt. That's it.
Yeah, I remember when in the 90s, CB Dykstra and Tony Roberts, there was definitely one season where they had like a multi-coloured frontal shirt. So I wonder if they'll ever bring that one back at any point.
Yeah,
Which was
something
your,
like that.
yeah, what was your pick of the three, Matthew?
Yeah, I quite like the black and purple. I think recent years we've always seen the goalkeeper kits that they're quite bright and vibrant. I think this has a sort of darker tone to it. The orange one, yeah, I don't think we'll see too much of that. But yeah, the blue one, I was really confused by the design. I think we're trying to mix things up a little bit. But yeah, I like to switch up with the purple and black. I'll probably pick that as the favorite. But yeah, I'm on the lines of Frankie. I think something different would be pretty out there, like because it has a nostalgic theme about all three kits this year. It would have been nice to have like an old school throwback goalkeeper kit.
Even though it's billed as the third one, I actually wonder whether we might see the orange one the most because it's the one that clashes the least with the away kit and the third kit. Like the teal one's going to clash with the green, the black one there obviously has got black in with the black and pink. So the orange one, like a few years ago when we had Asmir Begovic, there was an orange kit and we saw it all the time because it's just easy to wear, doesn't clash with anything, does it? So
That was
blue.
Dot's favorite shirt. I remember that John Reeves' daughter. That was her favorite shirt. I remember him telling me she was buzzing that it was orange.
What would you rate them, Frankie? The three of them all together, though.
Uh, it's 4. It just looks like a template. It looks like if we was playing again, well, Norwich always have something crazy with Araya, but I do think they're. I might be wrong, but I think they might be with Joma now. But I feel like if we came up against a different team with Araya and they had this kit, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So 4, it's a template. The colours are okay. The orange really lets it down, but yeah, 4.
I'd probably be on a three. What about you, Matthew?
I'll probably be down the middle. It doesn't really hit too much. I think they're pretty standard sort of designs, and yeah, I think it won't be too popular among the fans, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think those three goalie kits will live long in the memory, but thankfully, the main three kits, I think they will. I think we'll be talking about the three main kits for quite a while, particularly the green and white one. As I said at the start, let us know your ratings out of 10 in the comments. Will you be spending your hard earned cash on these strips? And I'll be back early next week as I'll be joined by Joe and Brian for our season preview. And with Dave on holiday, Matthew's actually going to be back with me on the opening day QPR preview show later next week. Until those shows, Thank you to Frankie and Matthew for joining me and spending their time talking about football kits, but we love them. What can we do? Thank you for watching, and come on, yours.